Section 4.1 is inverse functions. First of all, we're going to name the inverse of the relation. Well, inverse, you're just going to flip the order of the x and the y. So the inverse is going to be the order pair 5, 2, 4, negative 1, and negative 2, 3. So you switch the x and the y. Same thing when you find the equation of an inverse, you're going to replace the x with the y and vice versa. So switch their position. So in B it's going to be y equals y x squared minus 1, and in C it's going to be y cubed x equals 7. So inverse would basically um, exchange the positions of the x and y's. In number 3, we want to graph the inverses. First of all, they're going to tell me to graph this first one, graph the inverse of it, and then graph y equals x. So I'm going to set that up now. Okay, when I set up this first equation, and I'm going to substitute 0 everywhere x is at, I'm going to get 3 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. Now I'm going to replace x with 1, so I'm going to check this one. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. I'm going to go over there and graph those 2 points. I'm going to graph point 0, 1. So 0, 1, and the point 1, 4. 0, 1, and 1, 4. And then I'm going to graph a line through that. Okay, next in red I'm going to, since this is my inverse, I replace my x and y's, I reverse them. I'm going to now pick a value for y, where y is at, I put a 0, so 3 times 0 is 0, plus 1, I'm going to get a 1 here. And then also if I put a 1 right there, 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. So now I'm going to graph those points. 1, 0, and 4, 1 is there. I'm going to sketch a line through it, which is roughly there. And then they say graph the point y equals x, graph the line. So when x is 1, y is 1, and when x is 2, y is 2. So then I'm going to get 1, 1, 2, 2, and sketch that. So if you notice, the inverses are directly, this is kind of like splits it equally in half, and that's if my lines were perfect, but these are rough sketches, so you can see how the relationships of inverses, these two are inverses of each other when they're graphed. And this line directly through the middle just lets us see that relationship. Okay, next we're going to read a one-to-one function is one-to-one if its inverse is also a function. So remember we said for something to be a function it has to pass this vertical line test. Okay, so first of all, these all have to pass the vertical line test. So yes, this one passes, yes, this one passes, yes, this one passes, and yes, this one passes. So that means they're all functions. Our next thing, it says, well, now we can use a horizontal line test to decide if it is one-to-one. So if I took and I drew horizontal lines through here, well, that's not a horizontal line. If I drew a horizontal line, it only touches in one place. That's going to be a function. If I do horizontal lines through here, it only touches in one place, so that means it's one-to-one. So then, if I do horizontal lines here, it touches two places, so this one is not one-to-one. Not one-to-one. Okay, so this one is, these are one-to-one, so this is a yes. This one's a yes. And this one down here is also a yes. And this is our only one that was no. So they're all functions, yes, but then when we did horizontal line tests to see if they were one-to-one, we found that all of them were one-to-one functions except for C, which was not.